to my channel. Today, what I want to show you guys, I have some hyper dogs. One thing that we utilize a lot is the treadmill. They're not getting enough exercise. When they're really hyper like this and they're starting to get a lot of energy, a hyper dog like this is going to misbehave, not listen, find things to destroy. Whether we're missing out on being able to train every single day, whatever, they're gonna get restless. So what we use is the treadmill. So we have this treadmill, which I'll make another video showing where we got it from and how easy it is to assemble. See, they're very hyper right now. So it's a very small treadmill. It has a very compact frame, so it can actually fit into this closet that's here in our guest bedroom. I'm gonna show you how we get them to use the treadmill. Stormy is new to the treadmill and she's a little bit more finicky, so we'll be able to show that on camera. I just wanna talk about some good reasons to use the treadmill. As you can see right now, they're pretty hyper. They have a lot of pent-up energy because we haven't been able to do any training lately. We've been really busy with other things. So whether it's mental exercise or physical exercise, they need something or else they start getting restless like this. I typically don't like them to be like this. I like them to love on me, but when they're jumping on me, especially with the children, it just teaches them bad habits, so I don't like to encourage that. The treadmill is just really good for taking out the energy, and it's not anything aggressive. So typically getting a dog on the treadmill is pretty easy. So you just put them on the treadmill. We tie our leashes here because, again, we use this pretty often. So you're just going to start off on a slow speed, the slowest speed that it gives you, and let the leash kind of pull them. So Shia's going to kind of fight it a little bit because we haven't been on it in a while. And then they start walking. This is typically what you're going to see from a dog when you have the leash there. Sometimes you have to encourage them from the front. With Shia, she's pretty obedient overall. She's our oldest in our pack, so she just kind of walks to the front. So this is showing me that it's a little too slow for her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit because when she catches up, she wants to stop walking and let it drag her down. So I'll speed it up just a little bit so she can't catch up to the front, so she'll walk steadily. And give her a nice trot so she walks really steady on the treadmill. She's getting distracted with the other girls. They're way too hyper. But typically this is how they're going to walk. And you want to give them just a nice normal 30-minute walk or so. Enough where you feel that they've drained some of their energy. Shia's pretty calm overall. She really doesn't need very long on the treadmill. But I'm going to stop her here just to kind of run you through because I think Stormy's going to be the one that I'm going to be able to show you guys the most of what sometimes puppies can do. You want to be in control of when they're getting off. So you don't just want them to jump off because it stopped. You want to be able to place them on there and them stay there, and then you start it. And then again, when you want to take them off, stop it. They need to stay there just like Shia's demonstrating beautifully. And then you can release it. Go, Shia. And then allow them to get off. Come on. Come on. Sophia next. I don't want to work her too hard. Same thing. I'm just going to leash her. So again, same thing, right? We want her on the treadmill. We're going to correct her back. We want her to stay on the treadmill. Preferably, we'd like her to stay forward. Just like that. So she's waiting for me to let her know what I want from her. So again, same thing. I'm just going to start her on the slowest pace possible. And then she's going to start walking. And I'm not going to walk her too fast, but I just want to show what you typically expect. This is an adult dog. This is a pretty obedient dog that's had different trainings. So she's just going to get right into it. She likes to go for little walks like this, and she really enjoys them. So she's already sticking out her tongue like she's exhausted. But again, I'm not going to walk her too much. I just want to show a calmer energy, what it looks like on the treadmill, this is really good. This is what we like to see. And they're kind of distracting each other because they're really hyper. As you can see, Shia stopped moving around. That already calmed her down a bit. So Sophia's demonstrating this beautifully. And again, right, I'm going to reiterate this a few times through all four of them. You want them to stay on there. You don't want them to jump off immediately. The treadmill is a good thing. The treadmill is a treat. It's like a walking experience for them. They get to take out some of that energy. Again, I'm going to unclip her. And good girl. Come on. And I'm going to allow her to get off. Willow, I think, is a little bit going to be more resistant. So let's try Willow. No. No. So this is okay because she's looking at me and she wants to see. I'm just going to correct her back. I need her to stay there. But this is good that she's looking at me. She's staying on the treadmill. She's like, okay, what are we going to do next? So with her, I'm going to start her at the lowest speed possible. No. And I'm going to let the leash kind of pull her and lead her. And I'm going to encourage her to stay on. Nope. Nope. There you go. Willow needs a little bit faster speed. No. So this is good. Willow, this is actually Willow's first time on the treadmill. So give her, good girl. And I want the leash to be able to lead her. I don't want to have to correct her all the time. So you want to correct their head because where their head's looking is where they're going to want to walk. So you want them to stay straight forward. She's doing pretty well for her first time. No. Nope. Come back. Come on. Good girl. There you go. And you just leave them back on just like that. Because them getting on by them walking back on their own is programming their brain to understand, okay, she wants me on here. So we're just going to keep going until Willow gets a nice even pace and she stops trying to jump off. Especially because this is her first time, we want to end on a good note and not with her leading. We want her to understand that we placed her on here. She needs to stay on here until we allow her to get off. She's still looking at me and I need her to look forward, so I'm going to try getting in front of her to see if that helps. No. Get back on. So being in front of her helps, but now she's wanting to come off on that side because she knows I'm not there. No. No. But we see a little wag in the tail now. She's starting to get the hang of it, which is really good. So she's hitting the front, so what I'm going to do is actually speed her up. So she has to get a little bit more of a trot now. And I'm just gently guiding her back. I'm not actually pushing her, I'm just putting enough pressure on her so that she'll walk her own legs backwards, if that makes sense. We have a nice tail wagging now. Her head's still low, but I like the fact that her tail is wagging, so she's now starting to enjoy it. She's starting to get the hang of it now. So me being in front was the shift that she needed in order to look forward because she's looking at me to direct her. So we can see her tail is wagging real nicely now. She's still hitting the front, but I don't want to speed her up too much where she gets scared of it just yet. I want her to still walk at a consistent pace and not try and get off. No. Okay, now we've gotten her head is up now and her tail is wagging. So, no. She's still trying to come off the front, but the next time I'll increase her pace because that just shows me that she wants to walk a little bit faster than the treadmill's going, but I don't want to speed her up. I don't want to do too many things in one session. So the next time she comes on, I'll speed her up so that she's not hitting this front and she's at a nice little trot consistently. Just the same way I did with Shia. But we have a nice wagging tail. She's enjoying this now. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to stop her. So I'm actually gonna hold her leash because this is her first time. So I don't want her to jump off. I want her to stay on the treadmill. And I'm gonna release the leash because I want her to stay there while the machine is stopped, because that shows her trust in it, and her sitting down is her trusting in me and trusting in the machine now. So now I'll unlatch her and I'll give her a praise. Good girl, Willow. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, here she go. Here she go. Yeah, good job. Good job. That was absolutely beautiful. That's what I expect to see from an adult dog. We're still figuring things out. She is our only puppy. The rest are adults. So she's still really finicky when it comes to learning new things. This makes it a little bit different process. Sometimes it takes longer. So what we're gonna do is the same thing. We're gonna have her stand on the treadmill. So we can already see that her body language is kind of timid. She's a little unsure of the machine, but she's staying on, so that's a good sign. So what I'm gonna do for her is I'm gonna latch her, and I'm just gonna let her stay on the machine a little bit. I want her to get comfortable on the machine. This is her first time on the machine. So I'm just giving her a minute to adjust to the machine without the machine actually being on. So her tail is still kind of low, but it's not tucked, so that's a good thing. I'll give her a little scratch here on the butt, see if that can excite her a little bit. The tail comes up just a hair, but she's still very unsure. But again, remember, she's our only puppy of the, I mean, she's older now, but she's not quite an adult yet. But our others are adults, you know. So I want her to stay on because she's still kind of like trying to step off. And I want her, all of her paws to stay on. So she seems a little better, so I'm gonna try and start her and see how she does. Okay, so I'll start her on the slowest speed possible. See what she does. Oh, okay. Let me stop it. No, come on. No, come on. Come on. Now this is gonna be the battle with her. Is I'm just gonna put a little bit of tension on her leash. I want her to walk back on the treadmill by herself because that shows her having trust in it. I'm going to put her legs on there so she's not under the machine. And I'm just gonna hold it here. And I'm gonna let her stop fighting against me. I'm not pulling her very hard, but she's braced pretty hard against the leash and the collar. So I'm just gonna let her work that out until she comes forward. Come on. Come on. Come on, Star. She's doing the most of the pulling backwards. I'm just matching enough so that she can't get away because she's, again, a small dog, so. Come on. Come on. So, come on. Come on, Star. Come on, Star. Come on. See, you'll see she's wagging her tail. She's just being stubborn about getting back on. So again, I'm just holding steady here. I'm not yanking against her, but I need her to walk back on. So this is the little one-on-one battle we're gonna have really quick. Again, this is just waiting her out. I have a lot more patience than she has energy, so that's where I have the advantage against this. We want her to be able to put her legs on it because that's a good sign that she trusts it. Come on. Come on. So I'm just going to encourage her with the other dogs here are a benefit to keep her distracted because she's unsure of the machine. Come on, Stormy. Come on. Come on. Come on, Stormy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Stormy. Come on. Come on, Stormy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. So you'll see that she's trembling a little bit. That's completely normal because it's just something new. She's just kind of working through that in her mind. And that comes out in the form of shivers. They're right there. I feel ya. I feel ya. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. Good girl. Okay, and then I'm just going to face her forward again. I want her to be on this. See how her tail is tucked now? But I'm just going to lift her head up. I'm just going to give her some praise and let her tail come out from between her legs. And I can even just pull it out like this. We want her to have a nice, confident posture. Good girl. Good girl, yeah. Good girl. Good girl. So now this time I'm going to hold the leash. Oh, yeah. Being around and this is... So I'm going to start her at the very slowest pace and see what she does. If she just needs a lighter feel. She's not trusting it very much. If this happens to you, this is a normal process too that sometimes they'll do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put her back legs so she can get half of the idea, but I want her to stay on. So I'm just going to make sure she doesn't jump off. But you'll see how she does half of the legs. So this is working part of her brain to understand. So I'm going to let her walk like this for a little while, and then I'll try her back on all four paws. So right now she's still like trying to seek a way to escape. I'm just going to lift her head up a little bit, make her a little bit more confident, and even like lift her tail up. Remind her to put her tail up. So this looks a little funny, but this is getting half of the idea to her. So this is more of a success than it is anything else, even though as funny as it might look. But it allows her to understand that if she moves her feet on this, that she just walks, and it's like normal walking on land. So I'm just going to let her run through that a little bit. She's still trying to jump off just a little bit. So I'm just going to hold this here because I don't want her to jump off. I'm going to grab her by the tail because that seemed to be what worked. I'm grabbing her right at the base of the tail. I'm not really holding too much. I'm not holding too tight. I'm just kind of helping take the weight off. And I'm going to try it and walk her again. So she does really well when she's right there close to the edge. So I'm going to use that to try and encourage her to walk. She just seems to be really comfortable with doing 2 legs at a time, which is very odd, but again, this is going to be the work in progress, is to getting her to do all 4, because obviously we don't want her to just only use her back legs, although that will burn some of her energy, but we want her to be able to walk normally. But this video will show you a few different variations wherever your dog fits in, where you can start. Like we saw with Shia, she just needed an increase of speed. With Sophia, she was just ready to go. She didn't have any problems. She enjoyed it overall. Willow, we had to encourage her to stay on the machine and to get back on the machine. With Stormy, we're having to show her how to use her legs to walk on this. It is a bit different. A treadmill, obviously the ground is moving instead of you moving on the ground. So it can be confusing for some dogs, as we see for Stormy, which is, again, not something I entirely expected, but obviously there's ways to encourage them to go ahead with it. So this is the first step to her learning how to use both. I'm going to try again to get her to use all 4 legs to see if I can today on her first day. But if she does not, I'm going to come back to the 2-leg, and I'm going to end on this, because to me this is a win. If she's staying here and walking this without me having to keep her there, then that is a win for me. And we'll slowly progress onto getting her comfortable walking while it is moving. So we're going to try again. She's braced. She's ready. She knows I'm going to try it again. So I'm going to put it right here. Quite sweet. Okay. So she gets a few steps in, but she's not using all of her legs together, which is really odd. And I'm just kind of lifting her up. And you'll see if we just lift her, she's a little finicky on her front legs, but for the most part she's walking on them. It's just putting everything together that she seems to be struggling with. So So again, like I said, I'm not going to stress her out. I want her to end with feeling trust with this. So right here, she feels confident. To me, this is a win. This is her walking. She's staying there. I'm not having to keep her on. And she's using half of her body right now. So like I said, we'll progress and slowly show how to get her to walk with all 4 legs. With that process, I will probably next work on her walking across it while it is off. And then I will slowly progress to walking her on the leash, having it on the slowest speed, and walking her straight through while the treadmill is on, so she can get the feeling of walking on all 4 legs on it, which will eventually lead us to her using all 4 legs walking. But this right now will drain some of her energy. It'll get her comfortable with the machine. It at least has half of her body prepared for it. So to me, this is, like I said, this is a win. Okay, so this is good. So I want her to stop on this. So I'm gonna let it stop. So I want her to end with all 4 paws being on there. She's a little timid of it, but I'm just gonna stand her there to show her that there's no danger here. All 4 paws. You can see she's kind of trembling because she's like, okay, it's not moving now. She's still trying to work that through her brain. So I just want her to be on there. I want her to even maybe sit or lie down on the machine before I let her off, because that just kind of shows that shows me that she's comfortable with it enough to sit down on it. She's like half sat, half not. So I'm gonna wait a little while. Her tail's not tucked, which is a good sign for me, but her head's a little low and she's a little tense. So that's what I'm looking for her to resolve on her own. That way I can let her off of the treadmill. This isn't something that's going to be a process that's just going to happen like this, like the other ones. Obviously, she takes a little bit more time. Again, she is a puppy where we have adults. Adults tend to understand a lot quicker. So with her, I'm just going to be patient with her and allow her to work through this and start to learn and understand this. So her leg's like slowly going out, but I'm waiting on her. There we go. So she's starting to fix it a little bit. I want her to relax and sit down. She's fixed her leg where it was dragging out now. So we're just waiting on that kind of relaxation from her. Or like a deep breath of relief. Your hair is a mess. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? No, stay on. Stay on. I know. We're having a lot of fun out here and stuff. And this is better behavior. This is better language that I want from her. Her head is looking up now. She's more curious of what's going on around her. Her tail's straight down, which is okay, but it's not all the way up like I'd ideally like, but this is okay. So this I'm going to reward because I want her to feel good about this. And I'm going to tell her, good job. Good job, Stormy. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yeah, good job. And then, come on. I'm going to let her off. So she's still like unsure how to get off of the machine too. But I'm going to praise her now that she's off of it too. And I'm going to show her that this is a good thing. You'll see Willow putting her paw on. That's a really good sign. So that is it. That is how you teach your dog to use a treadmill. Again, Stormy's a work in progress now that we see that. This was her first time on a treadmill. I'll try and document that to show how we get her from there to a better point of understanding. She's just not quite sure how to walk on the moving treadmill, which is okay. We're gonna be patient with her because again, she's a puppy, she's still maturing. We use this health supplement for our dogs. It's called NuVet. I've used them for, I mean, as long as I can remember. Also, I will put that link in the description if you guys want to sign up for that. You can tell the dogs really love it. They take it like a treat. It's just a really good, beneficial supplement for them. I'll make a whole video on why we love NuVet, but I just want to mention that in the video and link that in the description for you all if you haven't already seen NuVet and you don't already use it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I know my videos are coming kind of slow. I have a bun in the oven, a human baby on its way, but I'm trying to make these videos as fast as I possibly can. I appreciate you all so much for watching.